Henry! It's the coach, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, the big man, Derrick Henry, fresh off a big game a week ago, as it'll be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the New Orleans Saints. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And, Coach, we are down on the Bayou as you get a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome here in New Orleans. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the New Orleans Saints. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, you look at this Saints team as they enter play. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games.
And last weekend, they pulled one out in a very low-scoring affair. It was all about their defense.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Bucs, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They're led out by a man raised in Alabama, went to Florida State. It's their quarterback, Jameis Winston.
No question at all about his talent, and that's been on display since his first game as a starter at Florida State. On a Monday night, the whole country watching, he only missed 2 passes in the entire game and led his team to a big victory and later a national championship as a freshman.
They'll run for the first time with Austin Eckler. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On second down, Eckler. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 11 yards there, first down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Running on first down, Eckler. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Ready? Blue 80. 46 to Mike. You can't block me. You can't block me.
This is a counter play. Eckler A nice job there as he rumbles for 9, and it'll be back to a 3rd and 3.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Rip left. Watch the ship. Watch the ship.
Play fake. Winston. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Kiko Alonso coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. This is fielded at the 7. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. Commanding this unit will be the 6'2 quarterback out of BYU. It's Taysom Hill.
I like this guy. And the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Hey, I'm coming.
Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup. 1st down, New Orleans.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Let's go.
Back to throw. Hill. And this one's incomplete. The tight end Josh Hill was the target, but it'll be 2nd down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Watch time. Tight end right. 3 down.
Derrick Henry. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. This is what the defense is going to look like for Tampa Bay. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
And stopping the run, that's been an issue for them all season long. Aren't you glad that you're not coaching the defense right now?
I'm very glad. They said that they've seen it in doses, but very, very small doses.
Yeah, you've got to be consistent. It's down in and down out, being able to play it, understand what you have to get done, and finally stop some people, put them on the ground.
Throwing on 3rd down, Hill. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. He gets us away. It's a good one. Drawing toward the sidelines. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. With the Bucs offense making their way back out on the field, let's take a look at the playoff picture, Charles, coming into the weekend in the NFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. And one advantage for this offensive unit is the big target, Mike Evans.
Play to his strength, his size and catch radius. Throw it up there, let him go get it.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Winston. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
A gain of 8 yards. And it's 3rd down.
Ready. Blue 80. Mark, 40 stop.
Hey, we got to get this stop here, D.
Wait, huh?
On 3rd and 1, here's Winston. He's got Evans. And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a 1st down. First catch there for Evans, good enough for a 1st down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up 1st downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
They go play action here on 1st down. He'll get this to Eckler. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that'll make this a 2nd down. A look now at the defensive starters for the Saints. They played extremely well last week in the win over Atlanta.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. They'll run here with Eckler, and he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Fielded just inside the 20. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Meanwhile, down in Dallas, an update from there. And it's the Cowboys that have moved down to an early advantage. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not pump the ball again.
That good for 22 and a 1st down.
I remember watching Derrick Henry come out of Alabama and sitting with some scouts, and one of the debate points with him was, while at Bama, how often did he have to deal with contact near the line of scrimmage? They were so good up front that he often got to the second level pretty easily. I think he's starting to answer those questions with runs like that. He's a physical guy.
On the double.
45, check my 45. You ain't got nothing. You ain't got nothing.
Lock it, lock it. Get it.
They keep it with Henry on first down. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. The numbers on the ground for Henry last week. 21 carries, 96 yards.
And I'm eager to see how they deploy him in this game. Last week, a heavy workload. Do they decide to bring that down a little bit and try and keep him fresh? Or do they say, guess what? He's locked in. Keep handing him the football.
On 2nd and 9, Hill. And this one complete to Smith. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6.
Pick it up, pick it up. Hey, echo.
Right there. 54, right there, right there.
Go.
Out of the gun, Hill. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 23. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from New Orleans. It's the Saints in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Down. 18, Gator.
Double time, double time. Three down.
A first down carry for Henry. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Come on, baby. I'm coming, baby.
Go. 5.
Draw play. This is Henry. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Tackle made that time by Vita Vea.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Ready?
On 3rd down, Hill. Cook's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Jared Cook, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
Will Lutz on for the point after. And it's good as the Saints have a 7-0 lead. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. From the gun, Winston looking for his running back, and he's got him. A gain there of 21 yards.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Winston in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. Working out of the gun, Winston. He finds his tight end, Howard. That's complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage. And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Jameis to throw it. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Alex Anzalone in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Draw play, it's Eckler. Only 3 yards on the pickup. They'll be left staring at a 3rd and 14.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. The Bucs on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. And that will wind up just short. He had it on line. It ran out of gas at the end, and this score will stay right where it is. Now listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all state, at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense. He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. From the gun, here's Hill. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. A shotgun snap for Hill. And he finds Crow. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. 23 yards on the play.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Now
it's Henry. Pretty nice, aggressive run there before being brought down just inside of the 30. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They'll run with Henry. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back.
Break. 45. Check Mike 45. Yo, 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 yo. Yo.
Get it. On 1st down, Hill. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle 3rd of the field where he threw that one.
Hey, Haywood.
Kamara. And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
Now Lutz for the field goal try. This will be a 37-yard attempt. And Lutz's kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Yeah, get a little closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. To throw, Winston. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Winston in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's hit on his first 9 passes now in the ballgame. Here's Winston. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. First time into the red zone for the Buccaneers. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. Out of the gun, Eckler running it. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Here we go, G. Get off the field.
Winston. Open man is Howard, the tight end. And he's brought down. 11 yards there, 1st down.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position. Everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner. And with good timing, you get a completion, as we just saw there.
They come out here in the I. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Demario Davis coming in for the sack that time.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Clock running. The Bucs try to go quickly and get set. The Bucs forced to use their third and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal.
You can't block me. You can't block me. You can't block me.
Winston now. And he's got his tight end, Howard. It's a Buccaneer touchdown. O.J. Howard, as the first half is winding down, as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. And a lot of football, full half to be played. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it ends with a touchdown for the Bucs. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
All day, every day.
So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll get started up at Lincoln Financial Field in Philly. And it's the Cardinals who are out in front as that game draws closer to halftime. Andy Isabella, a touchdown reception. From there, let's get down to Baltimore to check in on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And it's the visiting LA Chargers who have the lead in that one at halftime. The veteran Phillip Rivers with a couple of touchdown passes there. Finally, let's get right to the center of the U.S. map and check in on the Chiefs at home in Kansas City. And they have the lead over the visiting New York Jets. The Chiefs looking to get to 10-2 and draw closer to locking up a first-round bye. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Let's go! Let's go!
Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else. Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. What I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Come on, boy. You better be ready. Don't be shy.
From the 25 on second down, Hill flushed out right. He's going to take off with it. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at third down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain. Here's Kamara trying to run for him. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Move the chains, a gain of 7 on third down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
And we got to get to the ball.
They'll try the air now with Hill. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Now that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, and maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on first down. They're ahead of the chains now.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Hill looks to throw. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off. The open man is Smith. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 40.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10, right at the 40.
Here we go. Here we go.
And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
70, Indy. Watch the slant, watch the slant.
On 2nd and 11 now. Hill, and an alley to run. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain. This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. It's a quarterback sneak. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. Only a yard there on the keeper, but that's all he needed. First down.
Well, they pick it up on 3rd and 1 on the quarterback sneak, and that's not easily done because there are extra bodies in there on the defensive side, and they're moving forward at the snap.
Yeah, I was certainly expecting a handoff, weren't you?
Yeah, I totally was. I thought they'd go with it back, maybe try and get a lead blocker in front. But as you talk about in different games, those guys with confidence in their offensive line, they just want to move forward and get it.
Set, ready? 60 Pittsburgh.
Let's go.
Go, go.
Now this time he'll look to throw. Man open, that's Robert Foster complete. A gain of 6 there on first.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Back to throw. Hill. He gets this into the hands of Kirkwood. And he lost the football. And this is going to kick out of bounds. Boy, a fortunate bounce or two there. They'll keep possession back inside the 10-yard line.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
On the set.
Mike 5-4. That's right, baby. They don't want it.
Bravo.
From the gun, Hill. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while. What
it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Hill now to throw. Eluding and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Levante David making his presence felt in the backfield. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. And Lutz puts this one through. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. That will go down as a 15-play drive, and it results in 3 points. So some disappointment?
It's funny. We had our conference before the game with the offensive coordinator. And what did he tell us? I just want every drive to end in a kick, right? An extra point, a punt, or a field goal. Well, in this case, I think it is a little bit of a disappointment because it did end in a kick, but that type of a drive should end in the end zone.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever.
And now a fumble. The ball's out.
Come on now, let's go.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. So we've got a challenge. Our referee's going to take another look on the tablet. He's going to be watching to see if the knee was down prior to the ball coming out.
Oh, I love what you just said there. You nailed it, because if the ball's shifting or moving before the knee or any other part of the body hits the ground, then that'll be considered a fumble.
After review of the play.
And the challenge pays dividends. The ref overturns the play.
Everyone gets a bonus on this one, Brandon. The coach upstairs who signaled down and said challenge it, and the head coach for pulling the red flag.
Here is Eckler. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 7 yards there and a first down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
First down, and they stick with Eckler. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And all the way down to the 41-yard line.
Let's go, baby.
Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
They'll run out of the gun with Eckler. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Now Eckler. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They'll try to throw now. Winston. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's Buccaneer football, but they've got work to do. They find themselves behind here to start the 4th quarter. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Throwing, Winston. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Nelson Aguilar, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short.
And that incompletion was caused by the defense. I think they were trying to get one into the middle of the field, trying to find a receiver there, but they were in zone defense. And what are the advantages of being in zone? Eyes and reaction. Eyes meaning all eyes are on the quarterback and able to react when he throws the football and rally to that spot. And that's exactly what happened there. Able to get there and knock it away.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
They come up on a 1st and goal and most likely 4-down territory as they need a touchdown and the PAT for the lead. Winston, and he hauls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. Jordan Leggett, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are an extra point away now from taking the lead here in the 4th. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there. He got it done.
And when you're able to complete one like that, your confidence has to just go sky high. You just mentioned it. Tight window, zings it in there despite excellent coverage. Result, touchdown.
Gay is on for the point after. And they have taken the lead here in this 4th quarter. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it's all finished off with a touchdown by Tampa Bay. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out comes the Saints offensive unit and the NFC playoff race. Let's have a look at it as we take a look at the playoff picture, and certainly a lot of jostling still to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
Yeah, exciting for us because we get to talk about it, and, at the end of the day, 6 teams are going to go from each conference, and guess what? We're going to have a playoff. But nerve-wracking for all the people involved, all the teams, because their goal is to get there. And anything less than that makes the season a disappointment. So they've got to be primed now for a big finish to their season.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. To throw again. Hill. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. On first down, it's Hill. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
We got 3.
Throwing again. Hill. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
That play was well covered. Just tried to check it down. Unfortunately, not able to find any yardage on that one.
The Saints on 3rd down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This is 3rd down and 12.
Silver.
Get it. And again, it's Hill. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And as we peer at the numbers, he got off to a struggling start, but since then really found his rhythm.
And I think that comes together with not just the halftime adjustments, but just that quiet confidence. If you just keep doing the things you've been working on, eventually there will be creases. You know, find those gaps in the defense, keep working on them, and maybe what didn't happen very well for you in the beginning of the game, it starts to open up as the game moves on.
Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at the 20. He completes it to Evans. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Second and 9 now from the 21. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And once more, this play going in the wrong direction. The Saints get to him behind the line again.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. He hits his target, left side, Watson. First down, Tampa Bay there, a gain of 13. So they did not bring pressure, and turns out probably a bad idea.
Yeah, he had time to stand in the pocket and deliver a strike. So I'm wondering if they're going to note that, and next time just go ahead and bring that pressure.
Jameis now. 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Jameis to throw it. Completes it to Aguilar. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 17 yards on the play and a Buccaneer first down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll get across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. A gain of 3, second down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock. Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Here's Winston. Oh, no, he lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Here's Bradley Pinion now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Tight down. There you go.
On first down, Rodriguez. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
45. Watch the run.
Recon, 152 fighter. 5. Go, jackrabbit, come on. Go.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Hill, flush to his right. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That one good for 26 and a first down.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
Set 50, plant.
Check.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Tight ends on the Ringo.
45.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Hill. He'll let it go deep for Foster. Got a man that's caught at the 6-yard line. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 46 yards.
That could very well be a defining play in this game. A touchdown, that gives them the lead, and they took a major step towards getting there with that big play right there.
Fourth quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight one-point game. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
General West.
Delay of game, offense.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
The delay of game, a costly one, as they're backed up 5 for first and goal.
Here we go. Check. Sam off. Ready.
And now he'll tuck it and run. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's second and goal.
218, jump.
Toss play, Kamara. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Alvin Kamara, his 6th touchdown of the season. And once again, the Saints are back out in front.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
And he is not going to make it. So they won't be able to move this lead up to a touchdown as it'll remain a 5-point ball game.
I feel like we're going to see more and more of this continue to flow into the NFL game, and that is the quarterback run game. Not successful here going for 2, but it's not something that people shy away from totally anymore either.
In particular, do you think more so around the goal line?
I think so. Anytime it's short yardage, anytime you can go ahead and keep the ball in the hands of the quarterback who's athletic, you go ahead and do that rather than risk a handoff or a pitch.
They just couldn't get it done there, though. 2-point try fails. Winston readies the offense. Down by 5, 1:14 to go. They need a touchdown. A field goal is worthless now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Winston. And Watson has it right side. 15 yards as Tampa Bay picks up the first. Back to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 15 yards as Tampa Bay picks up the first. This one complete to Scott Miller. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. Winston to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Winston. It's caught by Aguilar. The Bucs forced to use their third and final timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game.
Ready? White 25. 47's the mic, boy. 47. Check. 47.
Now Winston. And he's got a man. It's the tight end Howard, complete. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again. Well, Charles, they were close in the end, but they couldn't get that last play, that last little miracle play done. They were within striking distance, but couldn't find a way to score.
They definitely had hope. They definitely had opportunity. Just unable to cash in at the end. Not an easy play by any stretch, but they definitely had a chance.
So for the Saints, they move back over 500 at 7-6. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for Tampa Bay, it's a potentially fatal blow to their playoff chances as they drop to 6-7 on the year. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.